Continuing on with the halachot of Chafetz Chaim where we left off, today we're in the categories of Lashon Hara, category number 12 and 13. Protesting a judgment in Bet Din. So even if someone, we'll explain halacha, try to do it a little bit outside because it's very nuanced, this halacha. Even if the speaker's intent is to protest what he considers a wrongful judgment in Bet Din, he should still desist, as without knowing all of the details, it is almost certain that he is mistaken and the Bet Din is correct. So this common example in our circles is, obviously we have a mitzvah to go to Bet Din if there's ever a dispute, but no one should ever be in that situation. But we should relate it to in our scenarios, it should be something to do with, let's say we have an arbitrator involved. Very often, it's normal, it's healthy. Two people are in a disagreement. There's no reason to go to court. It's actually not allowed to go to court. We have to first seek Bet Din. But even Bet Din, you don't want to go through all the hassles and all of the fees and all of the time that it takes. What we have is you have an arbitrator. You can go to someone who won't be necessarily a Bet Din, but he can be an arbitrator. It's very important that whatever the outcome that the arbitrator decides, usually it's going to be a compromise. That's just the mentality that we have in our community. Usually there's a pshara, a compromise, but we should always be mindful that we don't go afterward and speak negatively about the arbitrator or what was decided upon in that meeting. It's important that can fall into Lashon Hara as well. They bring a few different examples that apply to Bet Din, but they're more nuanced, so we'll continue with the next category. Category number 13 is verbal damages without Lashon Hara. If one does not relate anything at all about the subject, but nevertheless damages him with words. So how is that possible? They give an example. For example, he requests that his employer does not hire Ploni, this individual. Or he convinces someone not to take him on as a partner without giving a reason or saying anything derogatory about Ploni. He doesn't say anything negative. He just says, don't do it, avoid. I recommend you don't do it. No reason given, doesn't say anything derogatory about the individual. If there is no valid toilet for this, it is still considered Lashon Hara. This is something very interesting, that he didn't say anything negative. I didn't do anything wrong. I just said, avoid, don't work with this person, don't take his money, don't let him invest in your deal, whatever it is. And this guy loses out on a potential income. It's considered Lashon Hara. Obviously, it has to be without any real toilet. Again, if the guy's a thief, we'll get to those halachot later on. That's according to the Rambam's definition of Lashon Hara that can cause harm to the subject. Some say that without relaying information from one to another, it cannot be considered classic Lashon Hara. Again, they argue with the Rambam and say, no, there has to be some information transmitted over for it to fall into this category. Even so, he is liable for causing pain and suffering to another Jew, and he may be labeled a Rasha for this if there is no valid reason for his actions. So even according to those who say it's not Lashon Hara, they disagree with the Rambam, it's still a problem because you can't cause harm to a Jew unnecessarily. But it's very interesting halacha that it potentially, without even saying anything negative, all I say is avoid. The understanding, the derivation that he doesn't go into business with this person can be classified as Lashon Hara. We continue to learn these halachot. Have a wonderful day and Chazak U'Baruch.